Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all my wonderful and beautiful little lovelies out there. And how I love you all, so, and I hope that you're all super duper well, super duper wonderful, and super duper delicious. And that life is treating you most deliciously wherever you are in the world, and that doesn't mean no, okay? I hope that life is treating you most deliciously, my little lovelies. On the 17th of August 2026, I hope that we're feeling the love. We continue to feel the love, my little honey bunnies. Now then, there's no sunshine today. It has gone somewhat, sorry, excuse me, cooler. Um, but nevertheless, it's lovely and dry, and it's very still out there. It's like peace. It's still. It's what I would call really, there we are, lovely. Lovely and still and quiet. You know what I mean? Very little cars, you know, driving around. And it's just lovely. It's just lovely, isn't it? Stillness. There we are. You know what I mean? Mad delicious babies. Anyway, I'm not saying that, you know, that I do not like mankind or anything like that. Of course, I'm not saying that. It's just, it's lovely to have that stillness as well, you know, where you can really pay attention to trees and grass and flowers, and you know what I mean? Whereas if you've got cars driving up every 5 minutes, or you got, you know, mankind walking up and down, it's like distractions, isn't it? You know what I mean? Because you're not seeing the beauty of, you know, what we've been blessed to have. You know, not that I'm saying that about mankind, because mankind is wonderful as well anyway. But that's just what I'm saying. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, if you look at the world, I mean, we've got so many distractions, haven't we, my delicious little babies? A lot of them, it appears. Okay, my delicious little babies now then. So, Roger Cook, okay, 1943 till 2026. Well, I hope that Roger Cook, rests in peace, okay? You know, because he did cover a lot with the Cook Report. I remember the Cook Report decades ago. I used to watch, there we are, rather a lot of the Cook Report. This is not something that's come up on my feed, my delicious little babies. I happen to be fishing around for other videos, you know the drill, my delicious little babies, and I came across this one. So this uploader happens to have 25.4 thousand subscribers, and just over 25-minute long, this video. And the uploader is called capital R Roger space capital C Cook space capital R Reports. So it's Roger Cook Reports. Okay, my delicious babies. So I'm not sure whether the uploader would have been, well, I'm pretty sure if it had been Roger Cook, it would have been a lot higher. But maybe this is somebody who, you know, that they upload Roger Cook's videos, bless. And the video should read: The Cook Report, Return to Spain, SO4, so I assume that is series 04, and then it's E02, so I can only assume that means episode 02. Okay, my delicious babies. 1990. So I'm just going to repeat this again for you. The Cook Report, Return to Spain, SO4, EO2, in brackets 1990. Okay, my delicious babies. So what's this about? What's this about? So this is to do with Spain. Well, clearly, okay. So that's not me being sarcastic, my delicious babies. So Spain, and it's to do with Morocco. So the drugs coming from Morocco to Spain. And it talks about, you know, some of the English who went over to Spain, and they well, let's just say to make a laugh for themselves, but they and there was one in this where which I'm pretty sure ones will remember, because I do, okay, where you know somebody was taken out. They were murdered, assassinated, and blessed so was a beautiful little baby who we call our sons and daughters, okay? Um, and, but it in this, video, it explains rather a lot. Okay, Madslichtig babies. And of course, what we've been seeing in the news and everything, to do with Moroccans going over to Spain, and and everything like this now. Then, okay, Madslichtig babies. So I just thought that was a very interesting there we are video to take a listen to. Now then, Madslichtig babies. So the final video that I've got for today. But yes, bless Roger Cook, bless him. I mean, he did get into some kerfuffles, didn't he, Madslichtig babies, especially when he was exposing those who did not wish to be exposed. Okay, Madslichtig babies. So, yes, it's very sad, but uh, as much as he never deserved to be treated in that manner, he served, let's just say, on this earth mankind, and gave very good videos and footage. There we are about what was going on, in different parts of the world and everything. Madslichtig babies, as well as our country as well. Madslichtig babies. Because it affects many countries, doesn't it, Madslichtig babies, with what goes on in the world. Now, the final one, Madslichtig babies. So because I was typing in all of the things now, yesterday evening, I came across this. Well, that is how I came across the Cook Report as well, because it's quite amazing that up on my feed, when YouTube decides to, fling in something, Madslichtig babies, they do tend to miss out the Cook Report. It doesn't seem to come up, so other things will come up, but not the Cook Report. Okay, Madslichtig babies, anyway. I'm not saying that anybody else out there that they haven't had the Cook Report, thrown into the mix, but for myself, it's never happened. Okay, Madslichtig babies. This uploader happens to have 443 subscribers, Madslichtig babies, and the uploader is called Clippy. So I'm going to spell that for you. Capital CLIPPIE, Clippy. Okay, Madslichtig babies. This video is just over 9 minutes long, Madslichtig babies, and the video should read clout at any cost. Stars, ReeFlay. Okay, Madslichtig babies. So I'm just going to repeat this again for you. Clout at any cost. Stars, ReeFlay. Okay, Madslichtig babies. Now I'm going to close my book because we must remember to go backwards. This is something that had happened in 2020, I do believe. And it was about, that Stars ReeFlay, who happens to be one of these, what do they call it? Trash, is it trash creators or something like that on YouTube? And what this is about, Madslichtig babies, is where he was doing like live streams and everything, and his girlfriend was there. Okay, what's her name? Bless her, Valentina. Oh, begins with a G. Grove. Anyway, Madslichtig babies. I'm not talking to any of our little lovelies out there who already know this video. I'm talking to our little lovelies out there who do not. Well, what happened was he's doing his live streams. Now, I've only seen the one video. I've got a sneeze coming. Oh, bless me. Sorry, my delicious babies. I couldn't help that then. Okay. Oh, bless. Okay. I could feel it coming. Okay, my delicious babies. Well, let's get back to the seriousness of this matter. So, what's happened is, my delicious babies, is that I've only seen the one video. Uh, but his girlfriend Valentina, she would come on some of his videos, which of course, you know, he was quite happy to humiliate her, it seems, my delicious little babies, you know, just for clicks and likes, you know what I mean? Anyway, somebody had requested, and you can actually see the footage on this video, my delicious little babies. So I'm not saying this to anybody who doesn't wish to know about this. I'm just pointing out that when you know, YouTube wants everybody to be canned, that there we are. These type of videos will pop up if you there we are, if you know where to look. Okay, my delicious babies, and by the way, I do not get any pleasure out of telling you about this video. I'm just pointing, there we are, some things out. And the silliness and the dangerousness of what can happen, my delicious babies. Now, to get the clicks and the likes, well, this young man would clearly go to many lengths. Okay, my delicious babies, and one of the lengths was that somebody requested, they gave him 1,000, what was it, rupees or rubles or something, which was what was it in dollars? $13. That's not coding, my delicious babies, or maybe it is. I would probably say it is actually 13. Okay, where do we hear that number? For him to put his girlfriend outside in freezing conditions on the balcony and leave her there, but somebody had requested it who was watching. What does that remind you of, my delicious babies, when I advertised months back Gloomy Sunday Traveller? He's a Polish man, bless him, Richard. Not in that way with anybody. To do with our Brummyland, where he was explaining. I think he's had 1.2 million views to the video. Where he was saying, you know, this kind of thing goes on. You know, where ones would come up to somebody else and they'll say, do this and I'll pay you, you know, some ka-ching like. You know what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? Well, it's just the same, except for somebody has requested it, so they've obviously typed it in, haven't they? So this silly young man, and I will call him completely silly, and we don't like this word, we have to use it sometimes, very stupid. In order to take the ka-ching, the change, you know, dollars, he did it. That poor woman, Valentina, his girlfriend, froze to death. And we do not like that word, my delicious baby. She froze to death. And you can actually see on the where he brought her in, and he was clearly trying to, you know, to get her to come back to life. And then he carried her over to the sofa. You can see it all, my delicious babies. I do believe, was she pregnant at the time? Okay. So he got, for this, my delicious babies, he got 6 years in some sort of centre or something. But you could see him on the camera and he was doing this, and then he was, yeah, he just left it running. Okay. But the point is, who was it who sent that message to request him to do it? Okay, my delicious babies, okay? Couldn't he see? Did he not have the noddle, the ding ding dong dong common sense, never to do anything like that? And then be on the camera, like this, blarting like titty la la. He knew what he'd done was totally, there we are, was totally wrong. He knew that. How could you leave, poor Valentina, but anybody for that matter, outside to freeze to death for $13? Can you see any sense in this, my delicious babies? Because I personally cannot. Okay? But it seems that he's not the only one, my delicious babies. There appears to be rather, if you dig into it, a lot of videos, my delicious babies, where this kind of thing goes on. But of course, YouTube, they will censor, they will, somebody's not being kind to somebody else, or, you know what I mean? Or, because we have to look at the algorithms and all of this, my delicious babies. I mean, this video will probably take hours upon hours upon hours to upload, my delicious babies, because ones are not a liking. There we are, the damn truth, isn't it? You know what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? So I wanted to point something out, and may that dear woman, and yes, it's been 6 years ago, but may she, and that's not coding, may she rest in peace. But I'm pretty sure she never, I mean, she's a young woman, she had the rest of her life ahead of her. And then somebody like that piece of shit decided for 1,000 rupees or rubles, 13 squids, ka-ching, to have her life removed. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that was clearly done on purpose, wasn't it, my delicious babies? I mean, it's certainly, it's not that somebody never knew what they were doing, because he clearly knew what he was doing. So really, that is murderer. He's a murderer. Never mind these, excuse me, my delicious babies, sorry. Never mind that, what do they call it these days? Unaliving. It's not unaliving. That is murder. You know what I mean? Whether you have very sadly physically harmed somebody, or, you put her outside, you knew full well she was going to freeze to death. Well, that's murder. He knew fully well what he was doing. There we are. He knew fully well what he was doing. Okay, but like I said, I haven't seen any more of his videos, but he's just one. Imagine, there we are, how many others, there we are, and who are still doing all these things now. Okay, but YouTube makes sure, there we are, that they bury things. Do you see what I mean? Because it go two-way, ting and thing. You see what I mean, my delicious babies, okay? So that's why I have my issues. Yes, YouTube is the largest platform. Yes, we're all aware of this. So, if ones want to get their information out, most will go to YouTube first, to see uploaders. That's all common sense, isn't it, my delicious babies? You know what I mean? But it's amazing, there we are, what ones bury. When, they want to get rid of, anybody who doesn't speak correctly or say the correct things now. You know what I mean, my delicious babies? I just wanted to point it out. Now, finally, Jason Arday. Well, like I said on another one of my videos, my delicious babies, you cannot blame that man. Okay? Me personally, I wouldn't have blamed him. He's not to blame for what happened. It is up to the university, it's up to whoever it is to take a look into anybody's history Now they're saying that very sadly he's took his own life. I mean, it just seems all and the way that it's circling martyristic babies. But if you listen to all different videos, martyristic babies, which for myself I have, you know, this side of the world and other parts of the world, everybody's got their views on how they see things now. But when we actually look at it, I mean, if we really look at it, it's very sad, isn't it? But very sadly, for Jason Arday, there we are, he too was used, wasn't he? He was certainly used for something, wasn't he, Mardelistic babies, you know what I mean? Yes. So it's just all round sad, but yes, there's a lot of talk, lots of different channels all discussing Jason Arday. But over the decades, you've had others who have lied on their CVs or lied about the qualifications that they've had. You know what I mean? This has gone on, there we are, for decades. But of course, this Cambridge, there we are, seems to be at the centre, doesn't it, Mardelicious little babies, you know what I mean? Anyway, my delicious little babies, whether it's morning, afternoon, or evening, please have a super duper delicious time. You only get one laugh, my little honey bunnies. Sending peace, love, harmony, and bright blessings to each and every one of you. May your beautiful little selves and your beautiful little families, may you all be fully protected. And how I love you so, I never needed to stumble there, my delicious little babies. Please take care of yourselves now then. Please try to take care of others because we are in bonkers, crackers and crazy world. Yes, we certainly are in a bonkers, crackers and crazy world now, delicious little babies, where everything is backwards, upside down and round the bend, just like a roller coaster. Yeah, I forgot to mention yesterday, my delicious little babies, somebody had thrown a load of, these brown envelopes. What did it say? Redditch and Worcester. Okay, my delicious little babies. I mean, because over in our West Midlands, soon to be after I'd mentioned that, there seems to be a part where, very sadly, there's been fires. Well, loads of envelopes. It's a Redditch and Worcester. Well, Worcester's actually a very lovely place, my delicious little babies. I remember it from many years ago. It's a lovely little place there. And actually, Redditch is a really lovely place. And I know Redditch very well as well, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? That too is a very lovely place. You know what I mean? It's like there's sort of places now where I would call out in the sticks, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? But yeah, two lovely places. But yeah, there seems to be these fires everywhere, don't there, my delicious little babies, you know what I mean? But you have some places where they're still standing. You have other places where they're not. Just like, when they have these bushfires, they'll burn some trees down or, bushes and that. Then they leave others. Well, none of this seems very natural to myself, does it, my delicious little babies? Stumbled rightfully so there. Anyway, my delicious little babies, until my next video, you just please take care now then. Yes, but I would certainly say, there's an awful lot of sadness in the world, isn't there, my delicious little babies? Things happen when they shouldn't happen, and with Jason, our day's family, well, bless them, bless his family and friends as well. Do you know what I mean, my delicious babies? It just seems all very odd how this has happened so quickly. Yeah, just all seems very odd to myself. Okay, my delicious little babies, but you just take care now. Lots of love. Look after. Thank you for any views, for any likes, for the occasional comments. Take care now. Bless you. Goodbye.